Tuatha. They're gone. After 10 years, I can't believe they're finally gone. We lost many, but we all knew the risk. I almost joined them. The Tuatha had my back against the outer wall when there was this flash of light. I looked up, and all I saw was the silhouette of you on top of that beast. It was the most glorious sight of my life, but I never saw the general. I'd like to personally thank her. Then, the rumors of her dishonor will finally be silenced. She gave everything to us in the end, and the world will know that. When we rebuild these walls, we'll name them after General Talera. Her memory will stand as long as the ramparts shine. But she never would have been here had you not delivered her to us. It can never be enough, but we hope you'll accept this as our thanks. We freed the city, but the Tuatha still hold most of Cluricon. Over the years, they've infected every part of these swamps. Clearing them out isn't going to be easy, but we might have help. There are rumors of a small band of fighters harassing the Tuatha. Perhaps the hero of Mel Senshir can convince them to work with us. Good luck. Our soldiers are doing their best out there, but it's still a nightmare. We've heard rumors about a band of soldiers striking the Tuatha for years, but nothing solid. They said their forces were crippled by a bitter frost, but it never gets that cold in the swamps. Watch out for those red-eyed bastards.
Keep walking. It's time to celebrate. The Baelor's dead, and the Tuatha have fallen back to Cursewood. You and me, let's drink to victory. Oh, I come from a long line of soldiers. We don't know anything else. I'd pay good gold to see anyone in my family bake a loaf of bread or read a book. I'm not doing this for the glory. Glory's worthless when you're dead. I'm doing this because someone has to. And if not me, then who? Thought we were doomed, didn't you? You and everybody else. But nobody accounted for the hero of Mel Senshir. No. Not Tak. Not Tak. Damn the Tuatha! Damn them to the fires! This isn't how it was supposed to happen. I was supposed to be the soldier. He was supposed to stay home to watch Mother. I knew he was in Cursewood, but they must have been in the path of the Baelor. They were trying to shield us. Poor Tak. Mother will be ruined.
Honor to you, champion. I watched from the battle's van while you faced Malwyn and his demon pet. You have earned great glory and the respect of all Alfar. If you have a moment, could I ask a favor of you? Historically, the First Sword is the greatest blade master of the Alfar army. I earned the title when I killed a Tuatha champion known as Zarastes. Since the battle, several of my men have asked for the chance to challenge the champion of Mel Senshir. You slew Malwyn and destroyed the great demon he commanded. They hold you in awe. 5 of our greatest fighters have asked, and if you accept, They will each face you here in the practice yard in single combat. There are 5 in total. Anayan Gaius, Tarek Smith, Saphedra Will, Adrian Tyr, and my sister, Ragnar Sen. Tell me when you are prepared to fight, and I will summon the appropriate warrior. Good luck to you, champion. Excellent. Your first challenger is Anayan Gaius. He is a veteran of more than a dozen campaigns and my personal aide. This should prove interesting. Go with Lyria. That last fight with Anayan was interesting. He fared better than I thought, though I was unsurprised when you bested him. Prepared for your next challenge? I have never been a part of a battle like that before. You and Tilera were magnificent. We grew up together back in Arethel. I've never known a warrior more courageous. Since the Tuatha penned us here, Mel Senshir has become more than just our home. It is where we made our stand. Now that the siege has been broken, it will be where we rise up and take the fight back to the cursed Tuatha. My sister can be abrasive at times. Do not let her rough exterior fool you, though. None can forge a finer blade. Your next challenger is Tarek Smith. The smith spends all day pounding steel. Do not let him pound you too. Go with Lyria. You certainly didn't pull any punches with my blacksmith. I hope he can still hold a hammer tomorrow. Saphedra Will is next. Are you prepared? Saphedra is one of my best scouts, quick and agile. Give her any room and she'll make the ring into your grave. Go with Lyria. You handled Saphedra readily enough. Perhaps it's time you face Adrian Tyr. Adrian Tyr survived alone 3 times when his company to a man has fallen. The soldier refuses to give up. He is fearless and enduring. It will take the force of God to bring him to his knees. Good luck. Go with Lyria. Adrian fell harder than I thought he would. Well done. Your final challenger is my sister, Ragnar. She is the finest weaponsmith in the Alfar army, and a peerless fighter. She will bury her sword in your heart if you are not careful. Do not underestimate her. Go with Lyria. One by one, the greatest of the Alpha have faced you in single combat, and all have fallen. Now it is my turn. I am Bronwyn Aurelia Sen, the first sword of the Alpha. I was born in battle, and hundreds have fallen by my hand. Let us see what you are truly made of, champion. Go with Lyria. You are worthy of honor, warrior. I have never faced your equal. Take this. Tilera herself granted me this blade for the slaying of the Tuatha champion Zerastes, but you deserve it more than I. The Alpha honor you, champion. May the Tuatha fear your coming. Go with Lyria.
I am Corialia Scathe, head surgeon here in Melsenshire. Do you require healing? As head surgeon, I support the soldiers of the Alpha armies as best I can. Despite the recent and dramatic improvements in healing magic, few that make their way to my table survive. As great as our power may be, the power of the Tuatha is all the more destructive. Her services are adequate. I'll admit, her only fault lies in caring too much for her patients. A beautiful city, is it not? When the siege began, I came here straight away from studying with the Scholia Arcana in Rathir. The opportunity to observe the effects of violence firsthand and to help, of course, was too much to ignore. To be able to study their physiology. Impossible, of course, given how their bodies return to nature upon their death. Farewell.
Cut you to ribbons! Ha! You're already dead. Nothing but another corpse just like me. Another body for the feast. She's here, you know. Death. I've seen her. She's like a big fat crow come to eat my eyes. Please, don't let her eat my eyes. I don't want to die. A fool twice cursed. Once to fall in battle, nearly killed. Cursed again to keep on living in this wretched place, this nest of death and darkness. A whole city of crows, fat from feasting. Once I thought they were monsters, always rising. I didn't know then. I didn't understand where the real monsters live. Oh, she's a great dark crow with 1,000 needle beaks. She's going to take me, you know, I've seen it. We're all beggars, dead already and begging for the end. Beggars bent like hags, bent beneath a bloody fate. But you're no beggar at all. You're the scarecrow, aren't you? Shoo, death, shoo! I can see it, all around you. You're not like us, you're not like anyone. You're not afraid of death, are you? I am. I dream of her. She takes me beneath the tower and she does things, horrible things. Don't let her take me there, please. Don't let her open me up. I don't want to see what's inside. That's where she keeps her nest. We go beneath the tower, but we don't come out again. Don't go there. It's dangerous. Don't go. You won't come back. Don't leave me.
You couldn't leave the prattling of a madman alone, could you? This is my sanctum, trespasser. You couldn't possibly understand the work I'm doing here. I fear I will need to kill you now. Perhaps the process will provide some insights into your unique power. Don't you see? The physiology of the mortal races is a book we've barely begun to crack. You couldn't possibly understand. I take these young men and women and I open them and I see what truly lives within. Magic is changing, and so are those who wield it. I am merely bold enough to look and learn the how and why. How unsurprisingly noble of you. Few possess the intellectual acuity to appreciate my work. Very well. Perhaps I will learn something from your death. Ooh, this...
She's dead, isn't she? The moment she passed, the clouds surrounding my mind seemed to pass. What a wretched woman. Who knows how long she's been here, preying on the weak and injured. Seems I named you well, Scarecrow. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done. I do not think that I can return to the Chandlery after what I've seen. Where does one go after they've seen the horror of war? A kind soul, she hasn't left the hospital since the siege. I don't think she even sleeps. I wish I had never come to this cursed city. I survived the horror of battle only to find the horrors of the hospital.
Back for some healing? My family does not understand. They want me to settle down somewhere. There are so many who suffer and so few who help. I cannot just turn and look the other way. I haven't seen her in quite some time. I hope everything is well. Master Hawkins' recovery has been miraculous, and he has been quite a help around here. The poor soldiers of Mel Senshir desperately need a healer's touch. There are so many dead or dying, and so few of us to help. Stay safe.
The Tuatha lines have broken, and we still live. It looks like fate has a sense of humor. Please, forgive my melancholy. The champion of Mel Senshir should be cheered, not subjected to my sorrow. I am Adrian Tyr, and I owe you my thanks. Though many have been lost, your courage saved a great many more. I am a warrior, nothing more. I go where I am told. I will spill blood with my company upon the shield wall until either I fall or no enemies remain. I did not think fate would let us survive that onslaught. It seems that even if fate is not on our side, you are. She was the greatest among us. What happened out there on the wall? I knew she would redeem herself. Thank Lyria she was here, and that her life was not given in vain. Mel Senshir has been my home for 7 years of bitter struggle. As grateful as I am for the strength of its walls, I am eager for a new horizon. I was dead, or I should have been at least, if it were not for a Varani mercenary who threw himself in the fray. He fought like a demon, and I was able to escape. The poor man was not so fortunate, though. I watched the Tuatha cut him off, and then he was gone. It shames me, but I once held such mercenaries in great disdain. But this man, whoever he was a warrior of honor. He was cut off and surrounded by the Tuatha. He is surely dead. However, his body must lie somewhere in Cursewood. It would give me peace to learn of his fate. The Varani warrior? The last I saw of him, he was cut off behind Tuatha lines in Cursewood. Farewell.
You! Stop! State your business!
Keep your hands off me, fool. I'm no Tuatha. I must speak with the Siegebreaker.
Off into the swamps, I assume? None that would be of any help. After a decade of Tuatha control, they've all gone quiet. But if there are any out there, I'm sure they'll be looking for you. Just keep your eyes open. After all, you'll be in their swamp. Be on your way.
Ah, you are the one I seek. It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker, especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign. Clearly I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy. Indeed. You accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Deon are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflo's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. Yes, I traveled with Agarth back in his prime. But those are stories for another time. I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her. We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses. And those who escaped Prismia Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights. And for that, we will take their lives to restore a balance once again. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to my kind. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and his new god. For House and Heartbreak, I shall end his reign. We have walked these lands for countless ages, always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. That little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. That he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch. The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Dwatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary. The House of Vengeance was a place of fierce honor and stoic determination that made granite seem soft and fickle. But not anymore. When Gadflow rose up, he unleashed their bottled hatred and turned it against the mortals. Now, they're led by a vicious cur, more beast than fey. Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly. Prismeer has always grown in our lands, but only with the surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem. When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of the Summer Court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. The Dwatha have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them. By the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the corpse collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it? We're only a shadow of what we were before Gadflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. I'd rather not talk here. Chloricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there.
There are worse allies to have than the Winterfell.
These swamps can be treacherous.
Off into the swamps, I assume? Sidon's band of merciless Fae with lifetimes of training and everything to fight for? Yes, I think they'll be quite useful allies indeed. I've heard tales of his work, half trickster, half spirit of vengeance. Believe it or not, the House of Sorrows is the most welcoming of the Unseelie houses. Then again, a viper nest is friendlier than the houses of pride and vengeance. You can't trust half the people you know, but you don't need to trust someone to have a mutual goal. Good hunting. Worse allies to have than the Winterfell.
You're the one who slew the Baelor. Honor to you, champion. I command the Ariad. We are warrior scouts, the eyes of the Alfar. My men are scouting the Tuatha's retreat, though I fear I may have lost even them to this cursed forest. I have been leading the Ariad for many seasons now. I may not have the flair that some of our other leaders do, but I get the job done. Don't care what happened on the wall. Talara was a great general, through and through. She'll always be a hero to the Ariad, and to me. My men and I are glad to be free of its walls. It is about time the brass decides to unleash us on these Tuatha dogs. Aye, Cluracan's doomed to drown in blood. Mark my words. The men and women of the Ariad are handpicked for possessing a very particular set of skills. We are the eyes of the Alfar forces. It is our responsibility to move among the enemy, to watch and wait, and when necessary, to kill. Vile creatures. The sooner we kill them all, the better. They are overdue. My men are never late. They are either where they are supposed to be, or they are dead. In fact, if you are venturing out into the forest, may I prevail upon you for aid? 3 of my men are missing. If you discover any evidence of what befell them within the Cursewood, let me know. Warrior to warrior, I would be in your debt. And if it would sweeten the pot, there'd be gold for you as well. It's been called that ever since they laid the foundations of Melsenshir. Even the smallest of plants and critters can kill you out here. Deep within the Cursewood, most likely. I sent 3 soldiers into the forest to track the movements of the Tuatha. Where that took them is anybody's guess. Farewell.
Talk to Captain Drafan if you're looking for work. Drafan runs the Ariad. I've never been much for officers, but he gets things done, and he cares about his men and women. I was asked to join the Ariad after my 3rd battle here. Since then, I've probably spent more time in Cluracan than Melsenshir. War is not won by brute force alone. It takes knowledge and planning to defeat the enemy. That is the Ariad's role. Acquiring the knowledge that will carry us to victory, and sometimes eliminating those with similar knowledge on the other side. Farewell.
It's me. You did me a good turn in Rathir, don't you remember? Family arms? No matter. I've been to war, and so have you, I hear. Seems I'm cut out for this sort of thing. They're calling me a hero, if you can believe it. I still can hardly believe it myself, but there I was, out there, a score of Tuatha fast advancing, but not faster than this staff. Sent up a beacon as I held them off until reinforcements came. Won a medal for that, right enough. Used to think it meant sitting in a tower, lobbing a fireball now and then, and dining on hardtack. Out here, it's nothing like that. Nothing at all.
I trust that Cluracan has been kind here.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned as ever, but inside the bones of the earth, there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented. A magic hitherto unseen.
is strong in this place. When first the Fae walked into its depths, it bore great fossils, bones of beasts greater and more terrifying than we Fae. But for all their strength, the earth at their feet lasted longer. It sapped their strength, their life, their flesh. Fae, called the House of Sorrows, have built their lives around the Midden. They feed and tend the bodies there, and sanctify the ground with what dead they bring. It is they who preserve the culture of our people, and make this the cradle of winter. For their part, they have been given a beacon, a small sapling of white bark and red leaves, growing from the bodies in the Midden. They call it the Hallowed Tree.
Hail. What are you doing out here? Did Captain Drafan send you? Tell him I'll be along shortly. I've got some unfinished business brewing here. Leader of the Ariad and my commander. We're scouts who serve the Alfar interests in Cluricon. Drafan's a stickler for the rules, but that's all right. Sometimes rules are useful. I don't remember what I did before the war. That time is all hazy to me now. I've been killing for so long, I wonder if even my family would recognize me. Don't get me wrong, I owe the walls of that fortress. They saved my life a dozen times over, but I'm glad to be out in the world again. It's where I do my best work. By unfinished business, I mean Deadeye, Tuatha assassin, responsible for hundreds of Alfar deaths in the war. The two of us just crossed paths here in the wood not half a day past. I hunted the monsters to Shattertear Mines. You're the hero of Mel Senshir, right? Think you can lend a hand? Deadeye's inside. I don't dare to go in alone. Hundreds of my brethren have fallen to that creature. But you killed the Baelor. So I'll stand here and cover the exit with my bow. You can venture into Shattertear and hunt the hunter, so to speak. No one knows her actual Tuatha name. I probably couldn't pronounce it even if I did. What I do know is that she doesn't miss. Not with that fabled bow of hers. As I said, hundreds of my fallen brothers bear witness to that. Judging from the amount of blood I've seen, Deadeye's probably wounded pretty bad, which means gutting the monster will be all the more risky. Don't underestimate the danger. Goodbye. Hail. Deadeye is finished then. Well done, warrior. Take this gold for your troubles. And now I best return to Captain Drafan. He'll want a full report. Goodbye.